Hi, I'm Sammy, and I'm here to tell you about weather in space. Ooh. Well, what is space weather? Space weather is a naturally occurring process in space that has the potential to affect travel in space, satellites, and the near-Earth environment. Surprisingly, there is a lot more weather in space than you would expect. Most people think space is just emptiness. For example, there is a lot of solar wind in space. Solar wind is emitted from the sun's corona, or the outer atmosphere of the sun. The average wind speed is a rapid 400 kilometers per second. Solar wind also has a very low density of around 4 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind is made up of plasma. Plasma is known as the fourth state of matter. It is a gas, but it is so significantly different from the other regular gases that it is classified as a different state of matter from solids, liquids, and gases. To be specific, plasma is a very warm ionized gas that contains roughly the same amount of electrons that have a negative charge as ions that have a positive charge. Solar wind can also be used for solar propulsion. Spacecrafts can take advantage of electromagnetic radiation emitted from solar wind to create kinetic energy. Another big part of space weather are solar flares. The cause of solar flares is not certain, but some people think that they may occur when opposite magnetic fields of the sun interact forcefully. Solar flares produce high levels of radiation that would be extremely dangerous to humans. Radiation is the process in which one solar body emits potentially harmful energy that is transmitted through space and absorbed by another solar body. Thankfully, we are protected from solar flares by the Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field. Geomagnetic storms are another part of space weather and are very interesting. Geomagnetic storms are major disturbances of the magnetosphere that happen when interplanetary magnetic field rotates to the south and stays that way for a certain amount of time. The magnetosphere is the amount of space that surrounds an astronomical object. The amount of space surrounding the body is controlled by that object's magnetic field. The interplanetary magnetic field is a portion of the sun's magnetic field that is brought into space by solar wind. The main stage of a geomagnetic storm can be as long as 2.5 days, which would be classified as a serious storm. During the main stage of a geomagnetic storm, charged particles in the near-Earth plasma sheet become invigorated and they press farther down into the inner magnetosphere. There are two different types of geomagnetic storms, recurrent and non-recurrent. Recurrent storms happen every 27 days and match the rotation cycle of the sun. Most often, though, they occur in the declining phase of the sun's rotation period. On the contrary, non-recurrent storms happen close to the solar maximum most frequently. Thank you for listening.